Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Sector 1 Sim Racing Season 9. We are up to round 7 in the season, and we are racing at Suzuka Circuit in Japan tonight. We are presenting you Category A, the premier category of our racing league. And sit back and relax as you will see some absolutely brilliant racing action tonight, absolutely guaranteed. Disclaimer. Action is not guaranteed. Joining me in the comms box tonight are two very, very good people on the back end of the microphone. We have for Division 2 Revs, and for Division 1 we have none other than the golden Mike himself, Ghost. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good
Good
evening. How are
evening.
you?
How are we?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, doing fantastic actually.
excellent. Yeah, look forward to tonight. Thought I'd jump back in the box. Great to be back. And what a track, Suzuka. Absolutely fantastic racetrack. So, and get to call the big boys. So, and we could have a championship wrapped up tonight. So, looking forward to seeing how that gets underway as well. And I reckon the old Div 2 race will be a rip cylinder as well.
How about you, Revs? How are you feeling?
Yeah, man. I've been really looking forward to the second last race. Few others out here, I reckon. There's a couple of guys looking really fast, and I got some news from the weatherman. It looks like we got some passing showers that might come through and hit us during the race. We'll have to see.
Excellent, excellent. I'm always a fan of a spanner being thrown in the works. Even if that spanner did give me a bit of a thumping last week, not gonna lie. But that's the breaks. You've got to take the good with the bad, and hopefully the boys tonight are well practiced and well prepared for the weather conditions that they will be facing tonight. Now, speaking of the championship possibly being sealed up tonight, we shall take a look at the championship standings as they are at the moment. If I could get the right button. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm going to have to fix this console because I swear somebody keeps mixing things up on me. So, as it is, Category 1, we have currently in the lead on 212 points is Mountain Goat. Not quite nipping at his heels, but not that far behind, is his teammate in the form of Foss. Now, mathematically, it's still a possibility for Foss to take the title, but it would require some rather extreme circumstances, which, well, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Third place at the moment, Nif from Blacklight Motorsport, doing very, very well on 166 points. Nipping at his heels from Lightning Motorsport is John, just 3 points adrift. So, depending on where these two go, that would be the
battle I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that will definitely be the battle to watch tonight. And being in some practice session communications with the two of them, can almost guarantee that things will be very, very spicy between the two. There's been a lot of smack talk going back and forth between the two, to put it politely.
Yeah.
In fifth place at the moment is my boy Ricky Bobby on 145 points, and just 1 point behind him from Crackett Esports is Young Wacky. He's had a bit of an up and down season this season, but he's found himself in a very solid position in P6 at the moment. Just behind him, or a little bit further back, is my other boy Lenosis from APR Motorsport on 126. In P8 is Old Wakey from Black Rose Racing on 108. P9, your boy Ghost, Prima GTR from Blacklight on 107. He's made his way back into Div 1, and he has certainly got a solid foothold back in it, but probably fair to say he's not going to be challenging Goaty for the title tonight.
No, definitely not, but that's alright, you know. He doesn't care about the title, so yeah, looking forward to seeing how he goes, and yeah, so he can run up the front, and yeah, as I said, title's not on his mind, so we get to see a fast GTR.
True, true. P10, CPJ from CP Motorsports, just 1 point behind him, the TO of Lightning Motorsport in the form of Stickers McQueen on 105. Dadson, the TO of Dadson Racing. That'll be a good battle to watch tonight. The battle of the TOs. Evil Evo from Doghouse Motorsports in P13, and unfortunately, Diswood for CP Motorsports is unable to make the race tonight due to other commitments, which we can totally understand. Now, moving on to Division 2 tonight, which will be the race that we're about to watch. Currently leading there is Tim Durags, who's a privateer for the remainder of this season. The privateers are leading the way in Div 2 at the moment, with Heafy just 1 point behind Tim Durags. Dropping back down from Division 1, the TO of Switchblade Sim Sports. Okay, I can finally confirm that's what it is, in the form of Karen Unleashed. Another privateer nipping at his heels is Levenspiel, and then followed by Gurr from Doghouse Motorsport. Hodes from Hooncorp Esports, Blind Man also from Hooncorp, so a bit of a battle of the Hooncorp boys there tonight. The TO of Kraken Esports, Mr. Bumcrack, the plumber himself, on 60 points. He's been away for a couple of rounds, but he's come back again to join us here tonight in Div 2, and he's looking fairly rapid as well. From Dadson Racing, Mr. Scooter McGavin. Did I get that right? I think so. And then from Symmetry Motorsports, we've got Thunder Artsy, Boy Bagum from Black Rose, and unfortunately, the racing accountant, aka the taxman, can't make it tonight. So it's a bit of a shame. So slightly smaller grid than what we would normally have, but that's okay. I'm sure the remaining drivers will make up for that in terms of action tonight. Now we just take a quick look at the Suzuka track map. It's a very, very challenging course. Lots of twisty bits, off-camber corners, and yeah, a few straight bits thrown in for a bit of fun and just to let you catch your breath before it all starts again. 18 corners, just over 5 laps in length. We are looking at 23 laps race distance tonight with a 4 times tyre wear, 4 times fuel. And as we all know, there is weather forecasted. When exactly that will strike, it can change a little bit here and there, but hopefully the drivers will keep their radars open and their brains active so they can make the right decision at the right time. So, I think that's enough talking from me. In fact, that's more than enough. So, what do you say we get qualifying underway, Revs?
Sure will. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, start qualifying, boys.
Excellent. People in the chat, hello, good evening. Good to have you here. Just like to ask you to throw a bit of a prediction of who's going to qualify on pole position tonight. Let us know. Who do you think's quick? As the guys are just waiting to come out of the pit lane. And we finally have some guys out on track, which is good to see.
Artsy leading the way.
There we go. RT out on track for Symmetry Motorsport. So many sim sports and motorsports, I honestly get a little confused, so my apologies to team owners if I happen to get the wrong word in. Gotta love the pink and black Brazen Brownies livery. I've become quite partial to it, to be honest. Bit of a fan. Next out on track is Cruisin'. Not sure who he's filling in for tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Revs, if you could just run through the drivers for me. So in third we've got Gurr, I believe, for Doghouse Motorsports. Alrighty, as the drivers cross the line on their outlap and they're on to their provisional lap, might just go for a bit of a ride around the track on board. I'm thinking we might, without putting the Mozza on him, we might just jump on board Tim Durags as we go for a hot lap around Suzuka. Down the long straight, full noise, very committed into the braking zone, which does take up turn 1, so you've got to be very careful to not send it wide off the track. Into the S's. Got to be very balanced on the throttle and the steering inputs coming through here. Making sure you clip those curbs, because if you don't, that grass on the outside of the turn will claim you as a victim. Now coming up into Dunlop's very, very tricky, up over the hill. It's a blind corner, so you can't quite see if you're going to run out of roam or not. Into the first of the Degners, clipping both curbs. Fantastic line through there. Then hard onto the power, under the bridge. Slight right-hander, and then hard onto the anchors into the hairpin. Making sure to tuck it in very, very tight. The trick is here to get the power down as quickly as possible, because coming into 200R, it's full noise, just a sweeping right-hander, and if you don't get on the power out of the hairpin, it will cost you. Into Spoon, very tricky double apex corner, which I have not managed to get the knack of even now. Then onto the back straight. This is where it requires strap on the big brass ones. Does he go flat through 130R? He does. He does have the big brass one strapped on tonight. Then hard onto the anchors, into Casio, over the curb. Also important to get a good exit here, because that will make or break your lap, that final corner. And that time of a 1:59.588 is an absolute cracker of a first flyer, but unfortunately it's only enough for P2 at the moment. Scooter 82 currently sitting on pole position with a 150. Is that a 158? That is a 158.8.
Yep.
Whoa.
He says, come and get it if you can.
A 158.8 first flyer, ladies and gentlemen. Holy moly.
Smoking.
Yeah, look. He's come back from a bit of a hiatus after a couple of rounds, and he's definitely stamping his intention on this race. He's not here to muck around. Artsy, currently P3 with a 159.12. Certainly not shabby. Just coming through Spoon. We'll have a quick look here on the back straight at the sector split, see how he's travelling. It's only a couple of tenths off pole, so... Oh, he's a little bit down, he's had a moment. Just track back to Boy Bagoom, who's also onto the back straight. Have a look at him through the sector splits. Oh, he's also a little bit down. I'm not having much luck here. Oh, we've got 3 drivers in the form of Gurr. Oh, and all 3 of them are into the pits. Well, that ruins my fun now, doesn't it? So they've obviously determined that the...
Mr. Bumcrack's up on his time by a tenth.
Oh, here we go. Mr. Bumcrack currently sitting in P8 on the grid.
He's fine, 2 tenths.
It's coming out of Casio. Well, I think he might have had a bit of a moment there. He does improve on his time, but doesn't improve on his position. Unlike the guys in front of him, he chooses to go around again.
Odes is the second up on his time.
Odes currently sitting P9. Might not have had the start that he wanted. But he does improve on his time, and he moves up to P7 with a 2:07. Good to see an improvement. You're looking to go even faster. Blind man currently P10. Looks like he's struggling a little bit. I'm hearing a lot of tyre squeal coming from that Hooncorp car. I'm not sure if that's a car setup thing or whether it's just GT7 doing GT7 things, which at this point I would not be surprised.
Very easy to squeal your tires here, though. I did it quite badly during my race, I have to say.
Yeah, look, I wasn't exactly gentle on my tyres either. There was no sympathy given, and I think that might have come back to bite me in the later stages, but that's okay.
It looks like there's lots of moisture in there. It looks like there's a glaze on the track, maybe a little bit more slipperier than normal.
He's coming out of Spoon. Looks like he's got a good exit. See how he's travelling on that back straight sector split. Can he improve on his time? Oh, no, that's not going to tell me. Thank you, GT7 timing. Right, so after his outlap, Scooter McGavin still sitting in pole position. He's only 600ths of a second in front of Tim Durags, who's firmly planted himself into P2. Blind Man has definitely set himself an improver. He's moved up into P5 on the grid. That was a fantastic lap, which I missed. Sorry. I'm going to blame that on GT7 timing. Scooter comes out of the Degners. Oh, he's a couple of tenths down. Does have a little bit of traffic in front of him.
Very dark.
Got Tim Durags coming around 200R towards Spoon. How's he travelling this lap? We will find out. And that qualifying timer is counting down very, very rapidly, so it's looking like this might just be the last lap for Tim Durags. It's his last chance to snatch that pole position away from Scooter. Oh, no, he's 2 seconds down on his best lap, so I don't think that's going to happen. Got Artsy currently P3, coming through the Casio triangle. See if he can improve on his time. Unfortunately not. Oibagum, P4, coming through the triangle. Can he improve? Come on, boys. You've got to help me out here. He has a half-second penalty, so the answer is going to be no. Solid result there for Gurr from Doghouse in P5 at the moment. Knocking off Blind Man back down to P6.
Ooh, leaving through.
Who's just coming into the Casio triangle is Blind Man. He's only 700ths off the back of Gurr, so if he can set a decent lap this time around, which unfortunately he does not. A bit of a shame, but that's okay. I think he'll be happy with a P6. Levenspiel in a P7. Hodes is still on a flyer. He comes through 130R. He's on a 2-minute 15 laps, so probably safe to say that this is not going to improve his position. And I do believe that aside from Hodes, that'll be all she wrote. And that is definitely all she wrote. So we will just do a quick recap of those qualifying results and give the guys a bit of a breather and just give them a minute before we will kick off the race. So you guys in the YouTube chat, hope you enjoyed that qualifying session. Feel free to throw in your top 3 for the race in no particular order. Just who do you think's going to finish on the podium tonight? So in P1 we have Scooter 82, the return of Scooter McGavin. And P2, Tim Durags, followed by, on the second row of the grid is Artsy and Boy Bagum. Now the third row of the grid we've got Gur and Blind Man, fourth row Levenspiel and Hodes. And the final row of the grid is a Cruisin' and the Plumber. What about you, Rebs? Who are you thinking could be finishing on the podium tonight?
The top two look really good. Scooter said, catch me if you can. And then Ragsy comes along and says, well, I'll try. Came pretty close and then let him know that he was still there. And you can't leave out Artsy, guys like Boydegum, Leavingspiel. But the rain, it's a big question mark. Could be anyone's race. We'll just have to see what happens when that wet weather comes in.
Most definitely. I think the wet weather tonight is definitely going to sort the proverbial men from the boys and is either going to make or break your race. I think it's a case of survival rather than to press the attack during the wet weather. But I'm just a Div 3 driver, what do I know? So far be it from me to tell these guys how to drive. Alrighty, so I think we should just cut to the chase and get into the racing.
Yeah, sure. Ready?
I am ready when you are.
Fluoro pink start button. Take me racing. 9 seconds.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, hope you've got a drink, hope you've got some snacks. I have the feeling that this is going to be thoroughly entertaining in one way or another. Hopefully not in the sense of carnage. Or maybe in the sense of carnage. Just wet weather carnage. So we've got the cars on the grid. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights. And they are underway. Tim Durags has got an absolute cracker of a start off the line. He's managed to hook it up. He's got the inside line on Scooter coming into turn 1. Takes the lead. Scooter's run out wide. Nice and clean so far. It's all looking pretty good from my point of view.
Fantastic start.
Boy Bagum's dropped a spot. Ooh, hello. I think Boy Bagum has had a very big issue. He's dropped all the way back to P8.
Yeah, he went wide.
Or not had a good time through the S's.
Got to give a little bit of time to let the heat get into the tires.
It's all gone single file, very, very smoothly, I would say. No turn 1 chaos.
No, great start.
Boy Bagum, he's had a bit of a shocker of the first sector. He's dropped back to P9. But it's a long race, gentlemen. It's all right. You've got time, and the wet weather is going to be a factor. So you can always use strategy to bring yourself back. Back up the front, Tim Durags. He hasn't quite skipped out away. He's got half a second back to Scooter. Bit of a wiggle coming out of Spoon there, so that'll cost him onto the back straight. And it'd be good to see who's got the bigger set of brass ones going into Spoon. Not Spoon, sorry, 130R. Mixing up my corner names.
Easy to do. I have to say, at least you know them. I don't know them all.
I know the names, I just happen to mix them up occasionally. Okay, frequently, but...
Yeah.
Hey. So no off-track excursions on lap 1. Good to see. Scooter's sitting fairly healthily in the slipstream. He might just be comfortable sitting there behind Tim Durags at the moment. Just save some fuel, stick with him, and then when it comes time for the pit stops, it'll be well Scooter's advantage if that's the case, or he might just tell me to get stuffed and be running his own strategy regardless. So
definitely be saving some fuel sitting behind the rags there.
So those two have skipped out a little bit. Artsy's not that far behind, but he's in a little bit of open space. He's all running all by himself, which, to be honest, he may prefer that. He's got no one tapping at his rear bumper, and he's got no one providing seriously dirty air in front of him. If he can just stay in touch with these top two, that'll probably serve him pretty well. Whereas Gur's sitting in P4, he'll be very happy with that. And he's got Blind Man in the slipstream as well, so he's got some company. That'll keep his mind occupied. He'll be looking in his mirrors and keeping an eye on what's going on. Going defensive if he has to. And P6, P7 merged almost
Hodes
as
is
one.
having a conversation.
Oh yeah, there's
Hodes says, "Hello, Liv, I'm here."
a little bit of Morse code going on the back of the bumper of the privateer's car. Not sure if Hodes wants to look down the inside. No, backs out of it, going into 130R. I was having flashbacks of our race last week where I had Black Project overtake me around the outside of 130R. I mean, got to give the man props for the sheer bravery of that.
Boyd gun with a 0.5 penalty.
Oh.
Gonna hurt him a little bit more there.
Adding a little bit more pain to his race so far. He has brought himself back up to P8 after dropping back to P9 off the start, but that half-second penalty is definitely not going to be his friend. So that'll bring the Plumber and Cruisin back into the battle with him. Still up the front, Tim Durags has still only got that half-a-second gap back to Scooter, so he hasn't managed to quite shake him off. Although he has eked that gap out to 8/10 now, and he's on a purple lap. Currently held by Scooter, which is a 1 minute 59.370. Pretty damn impressive race pace, to be honest.
Fifth, sixth, and seventh are all nice and tight. Looks like we're gonna have a nice tight race there.
Artsy's still within touch of the top two, so he's doing a fantastic job to just hang in there.
They call that champagne pink or something.
If my champagne is pink, I have concerns.
Not sure. I think it's champagne pink. That is. Looks good though.
Oh, Gur's now all by himself with a couple of seconds either way. I think Blind Man might have had a bit of a moment on that past lap.
Artsy with a 0.5.
But further back down, there is an absolute smoking little battle pack we've got forming here in the forms of Levenspiel, Hodes, and Blind Man. Now, I will get it right, that is both the Hooncorp cars.
Yes, that's definitely Hooncorp.
Because it's going to get confusing for me, because not that far behind them is Boybagum in the Black Rose racing car, and at first glance, I've said it before, I'll say it again, those two teams' liveries are incredibly similar.
Yeah, from looking at the bonnet, yeah.
You've got the black rear quarters, the white front, big Penrite logo on the bonnet, so again, Hooncorp, Black Rose team owners, my apologies if I confuse your guys. And your liveries are fantastic, they look amazing, but I'm a simple man and I'm easily confused. And especially now as Boybagum has managed to make his way past Blind Man. He's up into P7, the comeback fight has begun. Hodes is now starting to put some pressure onto Levenspiel. Or maybe not. I think he's had a pretty dodgy exit coming out of the hairpin, because he was right on his rear bumper going through the hairpin. He's now fallen back into the clutches of Boybagum, who's the meat in the Hooncorp sandwich at the moment.
I have to say the quiet one in the group and looking good is Gurr in 4th place. Looks like he's very consistent, just sticking in there. He doesn't have anyone in front of him, doesn't have anyone behind him, so he's in his own little space. But Artsy's about to pay a penalty, so maybe that might come to Gurr's advantage there.
Yeah, there are some drivers who are more than happy to be in a battle pack or sitting in someone's slipstream. And then there are drivers who are more than happy to just sit out in their own little spot of clear air and just be able to focus on cutting consistent laps and running to their strategy without any outside distractions, so to speak. And I've got to say, I am definitely in the latter category. We'll see how that how has that penalty affected Artsy? No, he's not carrying a penalty from what I can see.
He paid it.
Ah, he already has paid that, radio. My mistake. Scooter's still sitting within that 6 to 7 tenths gap of Tim Durags. He hasn't let him skip away. The clouds are getting very, very dark here at Suzuka. I am suspecting that there may just be some inclement weather looming on the horizon for these guys. Oh, Levenspiel's had a bit of a moment there at 200R. It's just drifted a little bit wide, dropped a couple of tyres onto the dirt. He's managed to recover it back up, but that has lost him a little bit of ground and brought Boibagum right onto the back of him. Don't think he's going to be close enough here for a move at 130R. So we're only on lap 5.
Got a good exit.
Only on lap 5, these guys should still be able to take 130R flat. Hard onto the brakes into Casio. It'll be the battle of the exits here onto the main straight. Not that far behind the two of these guys is the Plumber. He's had a solid performance these first few laps, just keeping himself in it. Blindman's had a bit of a shocker somewhere along the line. I think he's dropped all the way back to P10. And he's got a half-second penalty as well, unfortunately. So something's not quite gone right there for...
Yeah, and he's got a fresh set of tires too, so I think he went into the pit.
Hey, dare I ask what kind of tyres he's running at the moment?
Soft.
Okay, that's interesting. Needing a new set of softs after 4 laps. Okay. Alright. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm not quite sure what to make of that one. Tim Durags, he's out to 1 second over Scooter, so he's managing to make inroads into building a little bit of a lead. And he has been doing so by cutting very, very fast and consistent times. I mean, looking at this, he's got a 59.4, a 59.5. A little bit of a slip up with a 2:01.3 on lap 4, but then he's bounced back with a 2-minute 0.9. Just have a look as they come through the Casio triangle again. We'll see what he runs this lap. I've got a feeling it will be somewhere in the 2-minute flat mark. Please don't prove me wrong. Okay, a 2:01.9. Okay. Still with the tyre wear drop off, that's still some fairly impressive race pace. As Levenspiel pulls into the pits at the end of lap 6, I think he might be seeing some rain coming. Artsy's still in touch with these top two, so he's not letting them get away as either. Gur's still doing a great job in P4. he's not completely out of touch. If anything goes wrong for one of these top 3 guys, he is there to take his spot on the podium.
Scooter's tires are screaming at him. Tim DeRag's actually, his tires are looking okay at the moment. That's probably why he's moving away a little bit from Scooter. But Scooter has a much better petrol advantage, that's for sure.
Okay, so he's traded tyre wear for fuel consumption.
Yes.
Oh, and it really, really shows because he lost half a second at that hairpin alone.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to come in at the end of this lap.
Hodes from Hooncourt, sitting P5. He's got a few seconds either way, so he's in a bit of no man's at the moment. He's managed to drop Boy Bagum off the back of him.
Windshield wipers are going, so.
Look, the rain is incoming. Speaking of moisture, the plumber has managed to make his way up into P7. Very solid drive from Mr. Bumcrack tonight.
Leaving Spill, he's come out on IM tires.
Tim DeRags into the pits. Scooter also into the pits. Artsy into the pits. Ooh, he may cop a penalty from an interesting pit entry there. Boy Bagum, he's being a brave man. He is going around again, as is Gur? Wow, okay, yep. That is genuine surprise in my voice there, ladies and gentlemen. We're on lap 8. The windshield wipers are going. And we've got 2 drivers who've decided to just say, you know what? Bugger it. I'm going to drive on Warden Racing soft tyres with rain incoming. Brave or insane? I think the next minute and a half will tell us the answer to that question.
Tim out on IMs. Scooter out on IMs. Hodes out on IMs. Artsy, ooh, got a 3-second penalty, and he's on IMs.
Oh, that pit entry did cost him.
He's on IMs at a full tank. Everyone's pretty much on a full tank. Cruising on wets.
Ooh, interesting choice as Levenspiel nearly becomes a bumper ornament.
And Blind Man went to wets as well.
Yeah, I think Levenspiel's definitely got the grip advantage coming through these S's on the inters. Side by side. War chooses to yield. Cruisin gets very, very skatey, putting down the power. Levenspiel really, really wants to get past him here, because this will be costing him track time. So Cruisin's on full wets, Levenspiel's on the inters. So we've got Gerd just coming into the Casio triangle now, manages to pull it up very, very nicely. And probably fair to say that he is coming into the pits, as is Boy Bagum. That's a rather nice fuel-saving effort from Boy Bagum there. He's still got 36 litres in the tank, compared to Gur's 28. Tim DeRags just coming through the Casio triangle now. He's built that lead out to 3 seconds over Scooter. But that rain is certainly coming down very, very heavily now. Tim DeRags coming through the first 2 corners. Scooter in pursuit. Hodes has managed to make his way up to P3. Artsy's had a bit of a drop down to P6. Ah, that would be the 3-second penalty. Yep, rightio, that'll do it. But that means Hodes has made up a position over Gur there. That's a fantastic bit of strategy work, I must say.
Lev up the inside.
Oibagum currently P5. He's got Artsy chasing him down. In turn, he's chasing down Gur. Be very, very difficult for these guys to make an overtake in these wet conditions. Oh. Levenspiel and Cruisen still going side by side.
Yes.
Side by side through the Degners. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Oh, Cruisen's gone very wide onto the curb. Manages to gather it up, but it's just lost the traction, lost the power.
Great patience by Levenspiel too. It would have been frustrating being back there, not being able to get past and try something silly. But
oh, and Cruisen has lost it at the hairpin. It's just gotten a little bit too eager on the throttle, and
so
has
easy there.
put it around. Not completely, but that has dropped him right off the back, unfortunately. As hello, Scooter has inherited the lead of the race. Oh, how did I miss that? Oh, I think
Tim's got front end damage.
Oh dear, he's had.
We're just above the third line now on the water monitor, and the gauge is sort of saying it's wet territory, and these guys are on IM, so extreme caution.
So carrying front end damage from the Casio triangle. I'm trying to think of where he was
around.
incident. Oh dear. Let's see if we can catch that on our Liquid Solutions action replay. He's very, very sketchy. Coming onto the final turn. Oh, and he's just hard on the throttle and into that inside wall, unfortunately. That's a shame to see. But that's what this wet weather can do to drivers. Just lose that little bit of focus for half a second, and that back end will step out on you. And if you're on intermediate tyres in this level of moisture, you have to be 100% concentrated 100% of the time. Hodes finds himself in P2. He's got a fairly healthy gap either side of him and Scooter, and Tim Durags has dropped back to third. I can imagine there would be a few choice words coming out from underneath that helmet right now, but he will just have to keep himself calm and consolidate. Boy Bagoom with a fantastic drive here. He's up into P4 at the moment. Now he started P5, I think, and unfortunately dropped back to P9 on the first lap.
Yes.
But
Yes.
to fight his way back here to fourth is an absolutely sensational effort. And he's none too shabby in the wet either. Despite being a little bit skatey there going through Spoon, he's generally pretty good. I better stop talking about him because I'm going to put the Mozza on him. Artsy's got himself into P5, but he's got the plumber for company who's doing a sensationally solid drive as well to put himself into P6. Oh, is he going to have a look here at the Casio into the braking zone? No, pulls out of it. Takes a sensible option. Oh, Artsy, very wide line coming out onto the main straight. I think he just had to lift a little bit there, otherwise he was going to become one with the sand trap. That gives Bumcrack a bit of a run into him into turn 1, but in the wet, turn 1 and turn 2 aren't, they're not really an overtaking zone anymore. It's a survival zone.
Yeah. Highway to the danger zone for sure through there when it's wet.
Oh yes. And the S's are as well. It's just another case of single file. Maybe in the dry you could think about attacking through here, but in the wet, yeah, look, I wouldn't try it. Don't know about you, but I definitely would not. Mr. Bumcrack looking very solid here in the wet conditions. He's keeping the pressure on Artsy. Maybe that's his intent here. He doesn't want to directly overtake. Maybe he just wants to apply the pressure and force Artsy into a mistake, and that'll hand him the position. Artsy going very defensive here at the hairpin. Both drivers getting a fantastic exit out of there though. Doing a great job of putting the power down in the wet.
Dry line starting to appear.
Yes, the windshield wipers are off on the cars, so the rain has stopped coming down, but that track is still very, very wet indeed. What else we got going on? We've got Gurr on a bit of a comeback drive after that whoopsie in P7. Levenspiel doing a bit of running around on his lonesome at the moment, P8. Cruising P9, he's got a couple of seconds gap, bit of breathing space back to Blind Man, P10. And up the front, Scooter McGavin. That gap was just over 3 seconds. It's now back down to just under 3 seconds. So Hodes is doing a fantastic job of, oh, not making massive inroads, but he's managing to bring that gap down on a drying track. And I think this might be a big instance of somebody taking the brave move and jumping onto the soft tyres as soon as possible to try and get the undercut. Scooter with a lovely drift there coming out of Dunlop Curve up over the hill. He's done a great job to hang on to that one because that's not a place I'd like to slide the car sideways. Oh, I think Hodes has had a bit of a moment as well. He's dropped back multiple seconds, and he now has Tim Durags right on his rear bumper. So let's have a look at the Liquid Solutions action replay and see if we can just find out what happened there. Oh, wow. That was a fantastic drift through the second Degner there. He's done a bloody amazing job to hang on to that. I'm not going to mince my words on that one. That was, I can't say what I wanted to say because it's not quite 9 o'clock yet, but that's okay. You guys get the drift. Pun intended. Wow. So that hasn't worked out well for him track position wise. He now has Tim Durags 1.5 seconds behind. And that undid all of the hard work he had put in to catch up to Scooter. As he pulls into the pits. Oh,
Ooh.
as does Tim Durags. Now, Tim has a massive fuel advantage here over Hodes, so being only 1 second behind, I get the feeling he might just jump back up, might just jump up a position, but lap 13. They've got to do.
They're going with slicks. They better be very careful leaving the pits because that's going to be very slick.
I can confirm I made that exact mistake last week. Came out of the pits on the racing tyres, got a little bit happy on the throttle, and instantly spun it sideways and put it into the wall, getting damage and a 3-second penalty for crossing the pit lane line for just for good measure. So yeah, guys, don't do that. Hot tip. Doesn't go well. But if they're pitting this early, they're going to have to do 10 laps on a set of racing soft tyres. So while we did see the good doctor pull that off in the Division 4 race last week, the last couple of laps are sketchy, to say the least. So they will have to be very, very careful with their tyre wear in order to, well, not crash, to put it mildly. So a serious contender here for driver of the day, Boybagum. Currently P2, still going to do another pit stop along with Scooter, but he's not doing his race position any harm whatsoever at the moment.
Ooh, artsy boy. So is Bumcrack. Their tires are screaming at them.
On a mostly dry track, intermediate and wet tyres will be absolutely screaming for mercy, and the drivers will be chasing any moisture they can on track, just to try and keep the temperatures down. Scooter in, healthy amount of fuel in the tank.
Half a tank. It's a lot of fuel.
Boy Bagum into the pits as well. He's got even more fuel. I think these guys might have full fueled on that first stop. Artsy also into the pits. Bumcrack into the pits as well. And Gurr choosing to... Now I'm getting a whole bunch of timing errors, unfortunately, so... But from what I can tell, Gurr has not yet pitted. Can you confirm for me, Reds?
Yeah, I can confirm that. He's still on IMs, but their IMs are looking pretty good.
Okay.
So he's got enough fuel. He's got, well, maybe 55% in the tank, and yeah, well over half a IM tire, so you can definitely do this lap and another if he chooses, but I think he might be in at the end of this one.
I think he might be trying to minimize the amount of time he's running around on the racing soft tire, because depending on conditions and driver and car setup, I've had a few discussions with some of the drivers, and the general consensus seems that the average tire life is 6 to 8 laps. Now, obviously you could run that out, you know, an extreme either way. If you absolutely punish them, they'll be dead after 5. Or as the good doc proved, you can conserve them and, you know, get 9 usable laps out of them.
Yeah, I was thinking you get 9-10 laps out of them if you're not too difficult with them. Scooter and Tim the Rags and that will definitely be doing their homework on saving the tires for the last end of this race. But it's going to bring guys like Hodes, Boydegum, and that. It will come really hard at the end. It'll be difficult to try to hold Boydegum off if he's coming in super quickly. Tim the Rags tires are going to be really screaming, while Boydegum should still have at least, you know, 30-40% on his tires.
Oh, Gurr has gone very, very deep at the Casio Triangle by the looks of it. Will he be pitting this lap?
Ooh, Blind Man is around.
Yep, Gurr is into the pits. So I'll just take a look at the action replay. I just want to see what happened to Gurr coming into the braking zone of the Casio Triangle. Oh, he has just gone a little bit deep and onto the AstroTurf. Hasn't gone around, but he's managed to gather it up. He's had to contend with Dadson going down the Scooter McGavin going down the inside there, which has compromised his pit lane entry, but he's managed to get in there without any form of a penalty, which is good to see. Oh, I'm seeing a yellow flag. I'm not quite sure who that was, but we've got might have been Mr. Bumcrack having a moment there, because he's dropped. He's in P6 at the moment, and he now has a red-hot Levenspiel on the back. Still lots of squealing coming off the tyres, so there's enough of a dry line. Levenspiel has a move down the inside of Dunlop. Bumcrack relinquishes the inside spot for the Degners. Oh, that's very brave, because those curbs, those curbs are still wet. The track racing line might be dry, but those curbs at the Degners are still wet, as you can tell by the amount of spray coming off them. And well, these two guys are a lot braver than I would be, because I just avoided those curbs because, well, they tried to kill me, basically.
A few of them, there's some actual puddles there, and yeah, it sort of loosens up the rear end when half the car goes over the puddles.
Yes, it's not good when you feel the car steering get very, very light and you're hard on the power. Little bit of a clench moment. So
There's
now that
something I'd like to let you know here. Hodes has only got a half a tank of fuel, okay? Whereas Scooter has 3/4.
interesting.
Boy Gum, yeah, just under 3/4 as well. So I was looking at everybody else, and Hodes is almost of a quarter of a tank less than everyone else as fuel goes.
Rightio. Yeah, I should probably do a APR tyre and fuel update. So we will take a look at people's tyres and how much fuel they've got on board. What do you say?
Yeah, awesome. Start off with Scooter. Just to let everybody know, everybody's on softs now, so the most likely pitted and ready to go to the end of the race. We got Scooter. He's got maybe 5% wear and just under 3/4 of a tank. As I said earlier, Hodes, he's used about 10% of his tire, maybe 12% of his tire, and he's just under a half a tank. So we'll have to look out for see how he's going to do there. Boydegum, he's only 5% tire wear, and he's probably got 60% in the tank. Artsy, he's got just under 3/4 of a tank, and just only like 6% wear on his tires. Tim DeRags, he's about 9%, almost 10%, and just under 3/4 of a tank. Liebenspiel, he looks like he's used probably maybe 12% of his tires, and he's really, really low on fuel. He's well below a quarter of a tank, so I'm not sure if he's going to make it to the end. I think he's going to go in and pit again for tires.
Did you say a quarter of a tank?
Under a quarter of a tank, yes.
Okay, so he's more fuel compromised than Hodes is, so he's definitely going to need another pit stop somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
But he might be banking on that, knowing that the racing softs will be dead after... Because looking at his lap times, he hit it at the end of lap 12. Or lap 11, lap 12. So he might just be aiming to do 2 6-lap sprints here at the end. Anyway, moving along, Mr. Bumcrack.
Yep, Mr. Bumcrack, not even 10% of his tires, just under 3/4 of a tank. Looks like he's ready to go to the end. Gur's just under 3/4 of a tank, and his tires are really good, less than 5% used. Now, Blind Man, he's got 60% wear on his tires, and he's definitely just under a quarter of a tank. I think he's going to maybe need to pit before the end, because I don't think his tires are going to last that long. Cruisin', he's only used maybe 5% of the tire, and he's just got under 3/4 of a tank. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome, thank you very much. That tyre and fuel update brought to you by APR Automotive. You are in safe hands. And as the race progresses, we will have to keep an eye on Hodes and Levenspiel, because I'm interested to see if Hodes can make it to the end of the race. Now he's slowly chipping away at that lead of Scooter at the moment. It's down to 2.8 seconds. Boybagum with an absolutely brilliant drive tonight, currently sitting provisional 3rd. Now that all of our pit stops have been run and done, we can confidently say that that is 3rd. It's got a fairly healthy lead back to Artsy in P4, who in turn has a fairly healthy lead back to Tim DeRags. In fact, the field's quite spread out a little bit. Mr. Bumcrack, P7. I think Gers had another little moment there because he was running just a little bit behind Bumcrack in P8. And he's now dropped back down to P9, so things maybe not quite going to plan for him in the later stages of this race, unfortunately. I'll also be intrigued to see whether that fastest lap will stand, because as the track dries out towards the end, we will have, well, I'm going out on a limb here, but we will have Levenspiel pitting in for fuel, so he might also have it. As I say that, he darts into the pits with 3% left in the tank, so
yeah, flashing away.
It's entirely possible he may have a crack at the fastest lap here and just take that extra point away from Scooter, who has a massive lead now of 11 seconds. So I think Hodes has had a big moment somewhere. He's 9 seconds down on his best lap as he's coming through the Dunlop curves. So, sorry ladies and gentlemen, I have missed another massive incident. As he's run off at the Degners, he's having an absolute mare this lap by the looks of it. And now the confusion is going to reign again because he's got the Black Rose racing car of Boy Bagum right behind him. I thought that was his teammate for half a second, but nope.
Very impressive by Boy Bagum.
See, ladies and gentlemen at home, quick glance, those cars side by side, it's tricky to tell the difference. Work with me here. But yeah, Hodes, he's had an absolute mare this lap. He's probably going to be a little bit frantic right now. Can Boy Bagum take advantage of that? Artie's back there in P4 as well, just a couple of seconds adrift. He's just quietly lurking there at the moment, so if either of these guys have a moment or two, he will be there to pick up the pieces.
Boy Bagum definitely has the advantage both in the tire and the fuel, so I think Hose is going to have his hands full here.
Just jump on board Boy Bagum here. Oh, as he goes around the outside. And Hodes is in the pits. I think Hodes' tyres might be absolutely cooked.
60% more.
Now, he did pit, by the looks of it, lap 11, lap 12
10.
he pitted. So he and Levenspiel are running the similar strategy of splitting up that final stint. Interesting. Now that has given a very, very healthy lead out to Scooter, who's got 15.5 seconds back to Boy Bagum, who... this is a driver of the day nomination worthy drive here. Currently sitting P2 after dropping back to P9 on lap 1. Really fair to say there will be Jimmy Superfly absolutely screaming and cheering, watching his driver on the comeback trail. He'll be a very happy TO tonight, I think, provided everything goes well. Touch wood, and I will jump off before I put the moz on him. Can't do that. Arcee, P3. If I recall, he was sitting in P3 at the start of the race, so he's found himself back where he was to begin with. He's had a few ups and downs this race, but he's managed to level it out. Tinderags, back in P4. Another solid...
Blind man on a new fresh fit tires, but he got himself a penalty.
Oh, was that a pit lane penalty or just a...
Yes, 3 seconds worth. Big spanking.
That hurts. Another solid drive tonight has been the Plumber, currently running in P5. He had a low start. I'm pretty sure he started somewhere around P9. My memory's not the greatest, but I'll go with P9. And he's got himself into P5, but he does have company in the form of Hodes, who is going to have much fresher tyres, so he might find himself at a disadvantage in a lap or two. They've got 4 laps to go in this race. Can he hold on? Certainly going to have to break out the defensive driving 101 strategy very, very soon, I feel. Hodes has just chopped time out of him on that turn 1, turn 2. He's right on his rear bumper coming into the S's. Won't be looking to make a move here. Just to stay in touch. But a great strategy is to force the driver in front of you to think you're going to make a move and to go defensive, which will compromise your lines here as he's gone down the inside of Dunlop. Easy as you like. And through the Degners, Bumcrack doesn't argue the point.
No.
It's
Mr. Bumcrack just wants to make the distance with them tires.
I think that might be the case. Just wants to make his tyres last to the end and doesn't want to go burning them up, battling with someone unnecessarily.
The question is, I'm just wondering, with Hose with the brand new set of tires, he's 8 seconds behind Mr. Rags. I'm wondering whether he can catch Tim.
Whoa, 3 laps.
Time's dropping.
3 laps, 8 seconds. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. That has come down half a second just through Spoon. And it's continuing to drop. Okay, that is definitely worth keeping an eye on. Bit of a recovery session in P7 for Gurr. He's tracking very, very solidly in the early stages. The drying out track, I think, just sort of threw a spanner into the works of his plan. He's just on the consolidation drive right now. Levenspiel P8. Cruising P9. Having a off-track excursion at Spoon. It hasn't slipped up on the AstroTurf like yours truly did, so he's doing well. I was hearing some tyre squeal there, but that was just Blind Man getting a little bit initial D going into the Spoon. Scooter 82 out in front, still to the tune of 15 seconds. Boy Bagum, that gap between him and Arcee has come down. That's down to 2.2 seconds. That's another little battle forming that we could possibly keep an eye on here. With the other gap being Tim de Rags. Oh, that gap is down to 5.4 seconds now. That's come down. Come down 3 seconds in 2/3 of a lap. I know that sounds weird, but that's the best math my brain can do right now.
Yeah, and still falling.
He will definitely be watching that delta with a little bit of concern. Don't want to go focusing on it too much, because that's when you will start making mistakes, and that delta will come down even faster, and that just becomes a rolling snowball of problems. But Hodes will be able to see Tim de Rags now. And we all know once you can see that car in front of you, it's like dangling a carrot to I was going to say a hungry donkey, but I'm not sure how good of an analogy that is, but I'm going to roll with it.
The top 4 tires are really hurting. They all got less than 5%, and they still have this lap and one more to go. And Hodes is looking totally different between night and day. His tires are saying, I'm here, I'm ready to be used. Catch him, that's what I think. But there's one thing bad about Hodes, his fuel's flashing.
Ooh. Has he? Oh,
I don't think he did any much of a splash when he came in and got them tires.
So he might be
good. In and out pretty quickly.
Good for tires, but might be compromised on the fuel. Or if it's only started flashing at the start, he might. Yeah. I don't know what their fuel usage is like. I know what mine was like, and it was safe. But the gap's still at 4 seconds.
I think he realized it because he's starting to short shift. So.
Aha. Well, he might have just short fueled a little bit, because the fuel numbers when you come in after that wet weather stint, they will be slightly off, because you have been, generally speaking, you'll be shifting a lot shorter in the wet conditions than you would in the dry. So when you go into the pits and do your fuel calculations, the maths is a little bit skewed, so you can be caught out by half a lap or more, because you're revving the car out a lot more in the dry than you are in the wet. So yeah, maybe that has played a factor in this. The gap is down to 3.2 seconds, so he's still making inroads. But on the final lap now, with a healthy 17-second lead, Scooter McGavin has comfortably come back and stamped his authority on this race with pole position It's fastest lap, and if I don't put the commentator's curse on him, a race win. And getting off him, so I don't put said curse on him. Down to P2 with absolutely brilliant drive, I gotta say. Boy Bagum, P2. He's got a healthy 5.3 second lead back to Artsy, who has also put in a solid effort tonight. Like I said, he's had a few ups and downs, but he's managed to level it out. And to bring home a podium, I think he will be more than happy with that. Tim Durags, he's got the gap's down to 2.1 seconds now, but I think he might be fairly safe to hold on.
His front right's bald.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and his left one is maybe got a hairline left, and his rear maybe 3% on both the rears. So, and Hodes is just all over him now. Oh, going around him.
Oh, hello. There we go. I managed to catch that overtake. Did Tim Durags have a bit of a moment there?
No, he just doesn't have any tires. Both fronts are now bald, and maybe 3% on both the rears.
He might find himself in danger to bump crack, but
Artsy is bald as well. Yeah, and Boydegum still has a sliver on the front.
Coming through the
Scooter.
Casio triangle now is our race winner, Mr. Scooter McGavin. He's come back. He's claimed the trifecta. It takes the win.
Great
He
stuff.
will be very happy over at Dadson Racing tonight. Boy Bagum, again,
Very
solid
impressive.
drive, very impressive drive, coming through the Casio triangle, round the final bend, very, very gingerly, flashing the lights, very happy with a P2, I would say. Another one coming across the line now. Artsy takes the third step on the podium. Ooh, Hodes has had a moment. Tim Durags back into P4.
Ooh.
I think Hodes is... Oh, I think... Yep, Tim's out of... Tim Durags has just crossed the line. Oh, it's a drag race. Good! P6 just pipped out by 0.02 of a second from Levenspiel. That was a fantastic drag race to the line. Bum crack, P7. Hodes has had a... I think he's run out of fuel.
You ran out of fuel. I wouldn't say it, and I disconnected my headset.
Oh, that's a tragedy. He was looking
doing so well.
looking to battle for a P4, and a little bit of miscalculation on the fuel numbers left him in P8. That's unfortunate, but that is racing. Blind man coming through the Casio. He has definitely not run out of fuel. Into P9. And for a little bit of look at me time. Cruising. He knows it. He's doing the weave.
Flash.
He's got the lights flashing. Brings it home for P10. And that is our race run and done. Well, that race had a bit of everything.
Mm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen in the YouTube chat, have a think about your Driver of the Day nominations while we will do a quick recap of the race results. So, taking out the trifecta with a pole position, a fastest lap of a 1:59.370, and the race win for Dadson Racing, Scooter McGavin. With a very well-deserved, I think anyway, P2 is Boivagum from Black Rose Racing. From Symmetry Motorsports, on the third step of the podium, Artsy. And then P4 is Tim Durags, P5, Levenspiel, the two privateers. For Doghouse Motorsports in P6 is Gur. Very up and down race there for him. A bit of a shocker in the later stages, but has managed to grab a couple of positions back in the final lap, so I think he might be able to take some consolation from that. And P7 of Kraken Esports is Mr. Bumcrack himself. Hodes for Hooncorp in P8. Blind Man also for Hooncorp in P9, and a fill-in for points driver tonight in the form of Cruisin' for CP Motorsports. And that is our results for this evening. So, jumping into the YouTube chat, I am seeing a nomination for Driver of the Day for Boy Bagum from Debrev. I'm also seeing one from the Prospector. The Ghost is also saying Boy Bagum. Greg's is going against the grain and saying Driver of the Day Scooter. And, well, to be fair, you know, getting the trifecta, that's a fairly solid argument for that. What about yourself, Revs? What do you think?
Well, I think Scooter's happy to be back. He put his point across. Driver of the Day definitely has to go to Boydegum after being qualified quite decently, slipped back to ninth, and then worked himself all the way back to second place. That's definitely got to take the Driver of the Day for me.
I am definitely going to have to agree with that one. While definitely a solid argument for Scooter for Driver of the Day with the trifecta, Boy Bagum's drive, like, qualified well, didn't have the greatest start, dropped back to ninth, and then to battle his way back and finish P2. Just very commendable effort, and I'm going to give my Driver of the Day nomination to Boy Bagum. And I think with the majority consensus in the YouTube chat, Mr. Boy Bagum, you are our Driver of the Day. All right.
Well deserved.
That was Division 2, and coming up next will be Division 1, and a slightly better commentator than I am in the form of Ghost. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a short intermission. Don't go too far. Have a toilet break, grab a snack, grab a drink, and join us very soon for Division 1. From what I've seen of these guys practicing this week, there is half a dozen of these guys looking stupidly quick. So it's probably fair to say that it will be on for young and old this evening. So don't go away. Thank you very much, Revs, for joining me here in the comms box tonight and for being our race director for Division 2.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, mate. And on that note, we shall cut to our break. Do not go away. welcome back to Sector 1 Sim Racing, everybody. That was an absolutely sensational race in Division 2, and from what I've seen, Division 1 is going to be no less exciting. Joining me right now in the comms box is none other than Ghost himself. Good to see you again, mate.
Good, mate. Yeah, good to see you too, my friend. How are you? You well?
Well, I'm a little bit sweaty at the moment. I think we need to turn the air conditioning up here. It's quite humid in the comms box after that rainy session. But,
Yeah, I saw the weather. It was pretty nasty out there.
yeah. Well, it's Japan. It can be a little bit Melbourne-like, one would say. It'd be quite sunny one moment and then wait 5 minutes and it's pouring with rain.
So a big
Now,
welcome to talk chat as well. I just want to quickly say, big welcome to chat. Been watching that. That's been going off. So make sure you smash that like button. Everyone really does help us out. And you were saying, Luke.
well, what I was going to say was, you have something special to say this evening. We have one of our drivers here in Division 1 tonight is participating in the Movember campaign, which I'm sure a few of you might be familiar with. But to tell me more about it, sure, Ghost, fire away.
Yeah, so Movember, those don't know, it's a way to sort of have a conversation about mental health. Very important. I've got a dirty mow myself, so I'm very much looking like one of those dodgy pool cleaners from the 70s. Make of that what you will. But it's a great cause, and Dadson is, there is a link in the video description as well. Really great cause, and he's decided he's going to grow the mow, and all the proceeds will go to Movember. Mental health, super important. We don't talk about it enough. Of course, I had an episode this year as well, so I think it's more prevalent than ever. So if you can all get on board and also get behind Dadson tonight, let's hope he has a good run. The Mo is definitely, I reckon, 0.2 of a second more a lap, 100%. Really sort of 70s style racing car driver-esque, big fan. So Movember, get around it, and let's get into it, I reckon. What do you reckon, Lou? How you feeling?
Nervous.
Nervous. I like it.
Nervous in a good way, I guess. I've been watching these guys in their practice sessions, and while I like to make little predictions in my head about who can take the win, you could probably flip a coin. Like, you'd have to flip multiple coins because there's half a dozen drivers here who could quite easily skip away with a win tonight. And speaking of skipping away with a win, depending on how things go tonight, the championship could be well and truly wrapped up tonight. But it's not over until the fat lady sings, and she's not even warming up her vocal cords yet. So what do you say we kick off qualifying and see what tune she's singing by the end of the night?
I think that's a great idea. And of course, there is talk of weather around as well. So just in early practice there, it was a bit of a to and fro between GTR and old mate Foss. They basically, GTR dropped to 57.2, then Foss said, yeah, that's nice, I'm going to drop a 57.1, and then GTR went, well, I'm going to drop a 57.0. So
I'm sorry, what? A 57 flat?
Yeah, 57.0.99, 57.099.
Let's just call it a 57. Holy...
Yeah.
I can't say those words yet because it's not 9 o'clock, but... Wow. Okay. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we are in store for tonight. We are in store for some very rapid pace tonight. So, without further ado, the drivers are coming out on track now. So, let's get into it because I am excited to see what these guys can produce tonight.
Yeah, very much so. So it looks like first out on track there is Lenocious for APR Motorsport in that absolutely beautiful throwback to, of course, the Castrol livery back in the day of good old LP. And of course running the pink wheels as only Lenocious does. But that of course is my fellow commentators' team there, so we'll be nice this evening.
Coloured wheels go faster.
Yeah, and then we got Karen for Switchblade, who just lets a Ricky Bobby go by there. Of course, second of the APR Motorsport drivers. He's a bit of a sneaky chance tonight, Ricky Bobby. I like the way he goes about his racing. In these mixed conditions, I think he'll throw up a bit of a spanner in the works, so we'll keep an eye on him. Then we've got Karen, of course, for Pocket Knife Racing. And, of course, Karen has made the announcement a couple of weeks ago that he is stepping away from Gran Turismo. Been a huge servant here at Sector 1 and wish him nothing but the best. I'm sure he will be around as well. Then we've got GTR, who's been absolutely red hot in practice. Of course, he doesn't have a championship to worry about, driving for Blacklight. And with that beautiful tyre power on the side, looks gorgeous, that car. Absolute big fan. And here is Datsun, of course, driving the special Movember livery. That blue is absolutely beautiful as well. Reminds me actually, there's a bit of a track jam going on here. What is going on?
A few guys just wanting some clear track space, I would say.
And that blue actually reminds me of that BMW blue. You know the one I'm talking about, Luke?
Yas Marina blue?
Yeah,
it's dangerously close, yes.
It is. So that looks good. So, and of course, Movember, get on board. Even if you just grow a mow, don't do the whole donation thing, just grow a mow. We will spark a conversation. So great cause there by Datsun. Love his work. Then, of course, we got, I believe, Goatee. There he is, our championship leader. Can wrap it up this evening. Pretty much only needs to finish. And he's pretty much got it in the bag. So keen to see how the young fella goes. I know he's super pumped to get this done. So he can absolutely just send it in the last round. And then we got Wacky for Kraken Esports. Young Wakey. I don't know what we're going to get tonight from Young Wakey. We could get an absolute stunning performance, or it could be in the sand at turn 3. Who knows? But look forward to seeing go. He has been super quick in practice as well. Then we've got Neff. Now, Neff is a bit of a dark horse tonight, especially when it rains. The hot tip around the paddock is this guy's an absolute demon in the wet. So once that rain does drift in, checking the radar, it is on its way. Keep an eye out for this Blacklight car. And Blacklight are on for a 1-2 here, I feel. Don't want to put the pressure on, but just got a gut feel about this evening.
Bold predictions there.
Then we've got CPJ50, of course, driving for CP Motorsports, and a long stalwart on the grid in that absolutely trippy as graffiti livery. Always makes me look twice that one. I'm a big fan. Of course, CP, well known. I expect a very strong performance this evening. Stickers for Queen, team boss there at Lightning, and he looking to, I think, just to get out this season. I know he's not the biggest fan of the M3, so I think he's just looking forward to next season. We get times coming in, and GTR straight to the top with a 57.3, if you don't mind. That is a storming lap straight out of the box. Foss 0.3 off. Then we've got Goatee, who's 0.1 off. Young Wakey up there in 4th already, so times are coming in pretty thick and fast. Niff in 5th.
Might just jump on board for a quick lap with Mountain Goat, I think.
We'll jump on board with Goatee, heading up through the S's. And up through Dunlop now. Into 2 very tricky corners. Degnan 1, back to 3rd, just running across the apex, then back to 2nd. Even first Goatee's using now. I think he's backed out of this lap. But we'll stay on board, I reckon, get a bit of an idea of the track.
The second Degner, you just kick it back to 1st briefly to get the turn in, and then up to 2nd to really put the power down.
There you go, see, a bit of differences. I'm used to just taking it in 2nd. As we head up through 200R now, down to the stupidest corner in the world, known as Spoon. Some people love it, and if you're like me, I absolutely hate this corner. And in the rain, do not touch that green stuff. You'll be off in the wall before you can say, whoops.
Can confirm,
like
I was facing the wrong direction in half a second.
Now heading up to the hero corner of the track, 130R. Maximum commitment through here.
Is he flat?
Is he flat? Big question. Ooh, slight chicken lift. And then we're going to brake at the 100 metre board into the Casio Triangle, of course, most famously known as where Senna decided to take things into his own hands.
Oh, false
As
into
they
the...
come in now.
Oh, that's
Into the pit lane.
that's an anti-climax right there. Everyone into the pits.
But we got a pit
Oh,
lane entry, so there we go.
everybody's pitted.
So everyone in now, so this is be the important laps out. Just tick over 4 minutes remaining in qualifying.
Evil Evo with a little bit of look at me time because he's still out on track. Currently sitting P11.
Right behind him, who I think is the first out in his out lap.
And Evil Evo's into the pits as well. Stickers is carrying a half-second penalty, so that's a bit unfortunate. Now, John was sitting in the pits for quite some time. He's only just come out onto his out lap, so...
So, interesting strategy there from the champ.
That's bold.
It is bold. We'll see how it works out for him, Cotton.
He's going to have to do the one-lap hero dash, I feel, because... Oh, he might get 2 in. He'll get 2 laps in, I think.
Alright, so... John now, on his fly, into turn 1. Oh, just a little bit sideways. You see the rear just wanted to kick out. That's forced him understeering down the second part of turn 1. Up to the S's now. Slight tap of the brake just to get the nose in. Really important through this section of the circuit. You just got to flow the car. Just hit your apexes, keep the momentum up. Now up through Dunlop. Late turn in there as well. Really want to cut that corner in half. Now up towards Denkton 1. How much speed does he want to carry across the curb? Nice through the curb there. Cut a lot of the track, and beautiful through Denkton 2 as well. Up towards the hairpin. Really important to get your braking marker spot on here. Brake it in a nice straight line. A little bit of trail brake on the entry as well, just to get the nose and the rear around. All looking for that all important rotation. Up through 200R. Absolute flat through here. I've seen 2-3 wide action in the test races earlier today. Then you brake it again into the apex at Spoon. Use a little bit of that exit curb. And then this corner just feels like it goes on forever. The front just does not want to grip. Now this is probably the only part of the circuit where you actually get to take a bit of a breath. Think about what you're going to do at 130R.
How brave do I want to be here?
Whoa, he just throws it in there. And nice and deep into the triangle. Clips the first apex, clicks the second apex. Nice power down, doesn't excite the rear. This will give us our first indicative lap time, and it is a 58.7 there from John. So, not too bad. But then we've got an absolute gaggle. Oh, I saw a purple sector there somewhere. Was that Goaty? I just saw it at the corner of my eye. GTR is just behind him. Who's in front of him? So where's Foss? Okay, so Foss, out of our really quick guys, is the first one to cross the line. He's got Young Wakey just in front of him as well. Foss heading in the Spoon.
I saw GDR get a little bit wiggly on that lap, so he may not be on a hot one here.
Foss has got to find 0.374. It's the final lap here, so it's do or die now. Oh, he's down. I don't think it's going to be enough. What's he got here? Can he find anything in the triangle? Tips it in beautifully. Causing that beautiful box of beauty entry for Brocky Sim Racing. Goes across the line. It's a 57.6, so he does chop a little bit of time off.
Oh, Goaty!
Oh, Goaty though gets second from nowhere. The clutch lap, 57.5.
Shoves his teammate off the front row of the grid and says, "I'll have that, thank you very much."
But it is a GTR that is going to take pole position with a 57.353. So, job 1 done for the black light driver.
Oh, we've still got John out on track. He's on his final lap. coming into
He
Casio
is.
now. Can he
John go
improve?
quicker?
He's sitting
Currently
in P9.
ninth. Oh, listen to us. We're just
So-
in sync.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's a beautiful thing.
How does he go? No. 10th down. Unfortunate.
Wow, that sets up the race beautifully.
Very intriguing qualifying there. Well, let's take a look at them, shall we? If I can remember which... This console and I are not friends tonight. So, on pole position with an absolutely stonking lap of a 157.353 is GTR from Blacklight Motorsport. And joining him on the front row of the grid, shoving his teammate aside, is Goatee for BSR. The second row of the grid, Foss for the other BSR entry. P4, Young Wacky for Kraken Esports. He's, well, I think he's definitely going to throw up a very hot performance tonight, judging by the results of that qualifying. One of my boys, Ricky Bobby, on the third row of the grid in P5, joined by one of your boys, Nif, in P6. Another one of my boys on the fourth row is Lenosis, joined by CPJ from CP Motorsports. And the fifth row of the grid is John from Lightning Motorsports with the company of Movember himself, Dadson from Dadson Racing. Sixth row of the grid, Old Wakey from Black Rose Racing, Karen from Switchblade Butter Knife Sim Sports, and rounding out our grid tonight is Doghouse driver Evil Evo and the Lightning Motorsports team owner of Stickers.
Qualifying there, so fantastic qualifying session. Big shout out there to Ricky Bobby, currently qualifying fifth there, so a really great job from Ricky Bobby. And I told you at the start, he's a sneaky chance tonight. The old shake and bake.
He's definitely thrown a cat amongst the pigeons there. Don't think he's going to let the top five guys just have it all their way.
Exactly right. And checking the radar again, we definitely got weather coming in. So strap in. I reckon we do the good old press the button and do that racing thing.
I think that's a fantastic idea. Let's do the racing thing. All right, ladies, gentlemen, in the YouTube chat, your top three predictions, please. I would dearly love to see them because, well, it could go any way, I think. It could be an absolute washout or it could be absolute mayhem.
Certainly could. I think it's going to be a rip snorter, this one. Absolutely looking forward to it as they are on the grid now. And waiting for the lights. It's been a while. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Racing! What a fantastic start there from GTA. Absolutely launches that thing and he is off like a rocket. Goatee in full defense mode because he's got his teammate Foss there's ahead into turn 1. Looks like it's nice and smooth. Everyone gets through nice and cleanly. Looks like there was a bit of a gentleman's agreement and that is beautifully done. So GTR will lead the way from Goatee, Foss in third, Young Wakey in fourth, Niff in fifth, Ricky Bobby in 6th, 7th is Lenosis, John in 8th, so he's already made up one position from his qualifying. Heading up now through Dunlop. GTR leading the way for Blacklight. We've seen this before from GTR. Can he hold his nerve this time?
John will be licking his lips at the prospect of having Lenosis right in front of him.
I was about to say, that is a little battle we'll keep an eye on as well. And John, of course, is fighting for third in the championship against Niff as well. So, something to keep an eye on. Niff has drove absolutely outstanding this season on a controller as well. How he does that, I've got no idea.
And he's part of this hot little pack here with Wakey and Foss. Young Wacky is looking very, very racy against Foss. He wants that third position. Does not want to let Goatee and GDR get away. But Foss is the Minister of Defence at the moment. positioning that car brilliantly on track and not giving young Wakey anywhere to go.
I'm actually riding off ball with young Wake at the moment, just seeing what he's doing with the car. Clearly short shifting is, I see 1 through 130. That's beautiful to watch. They're actually catching up front there, GTR and Goaty, so they got away a little bit, but GTR just looks like he has put the foot down. Look at Foss though, super defensive. You are right, Minister of Defence. That's certainly going to frustrate young Wakey and Nif as well. He's starting to get caught up in this action. Ricky Bobby currently in 6th, so Nif's got past you there. And John now up to 7th. So he's slowly making his way. Yes. Oh. No, definitely not. So if you are doing anything later, ladies and gentlemen, come and join the Discord chat and just listen to John and Lenosius throw compliments at each other. There you go.
Compliments is not the word I would use, but there will definitely be some interesting post-race discourse in action.
So checking in with our leader, who's 1.6 seconds to the good. So GTR is absolutely flying here. He has got that blacklight BMW by the scruff of the neck and is driving the absolute bejeebers out of it.
You got 14 minutes, you can say something, I guess. He's not hanging around. He definitely wants to get out of lead, get Goaty out of the slipstream.
Goaty in 2nd, his teammate there in 3rd, young Wakey in 4th, Nif in 5th. Nif's doing a good job, just tacking onto the back here of young Wakey. Then we've got Ricky Bobby currently in 6th, John in 7th, who's actually tacked onto the back of Ricky Bobby now. So John's got some serious pace to that Lightning Motorsport BMW.
He does. He was struggling a little bit earlier this weekend. He wasn't able to get the setup to his liking, but it seems like he's probably managed to correct that. And, well, I'm interested to see how he goes in the wet, because he's a very serious operator in the dry, but the wet weather, I feel, might be his undoing a little bit. He may not have the pace of the other guys around him, or he could drive past, give me the finger, and set blisteringly fast laps in the wet. Who knows?
Who knows exactly? Who knows with John? One thing we will get though is entertainment.
Oh, most definitely.
So that gap now, 2.2 seconds. GTR is just gone Hollywood mode here. This is what I like to call Godzilla mode.
And currently has the fastest lap of a 1:57.548, which is just brutally quick. And that's a race lap.
Yes, that is straight up disgusting, really. Let's be frank here. Back in now, Goaty. He's got Foss right behind him, so Foss is not letting Goaty go. I thought Goaty might put the foot down and try and get after GTR, but maybe playing a bit of a long game here at BSR. Just thinking bigger picture.
Yeah, I think strategy is definitely going to be a big factor in their race tonight. They know they're not going to win it in the dry weather at the start. They know the rain's coming.
Where GTR's just gone with the drive the crap out of it, and we'll see where we end up.
Yeah, we'll just drive fast and see what happens from there. Just going to take a look a bit further back down the grid. So we've got John in 7th, still chasing down Ricky Bobby. Lenosis P8.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a gap back to Dadson.
That train actually behind Dadson, look at this. This is great stuff.
We've got Dadson, Wakey, CPJ, Karen, stickers. And I think Evil Evo, yep, he's there too. Yep, there's two
They're
green
all
and black
there.
cars. I am definitely not going to get confused between the Doghouse entry and the Lightning Motorsport entry. Not at all. Right, Doghouse has green wheels. Go with that. Go with that.
So this is a battle for 9th all the way down to 14th. So this is fantastic to watch. It looks like Dadson's just pulled a gap there on Old Wakey, so he's nearly out to a second. Of course, that's that all-important second margin. Once you get out to a second, you just feel like you have broken them a little bit. And Old Wakey there for Black Rose, who's got CPJ right behind him. Okay, let's look at them. We've got Karen, who will be running a very special tribute livery for his last round. I won't reveal too much, but I do know what it is.
Of course, there's a special livery with Karen. Of course there is.
Yeah, true. It wouldn't be the same if there wasn't.
But having said that, I am keen to see it. So I'll be looking forward to the final round in more ways than one.
So back in with our leader, we've got just ticks over now to his 5th lap, leading the way 2.6 seconds to the good. Looking
he's
very strong as well.
definitely not in conservation mode. He is, I want to build a gap and I'm going to do that mode.
I think might be a good time to check in with our APR. Is it our APR tire and fuel update, I believe? So it is GTR leading away 2.7 seconds to the good, who is running just over half a tank of fuel. Front right Toyo tyre is looking a little bit second hand. If you do have a dodgy set of Toyo tyres and you need a new set, go see Lucas down there at Tyre Power Lawrence's. He'll be able to hook you up and tell him to go see you as well.
Oh, cheeky plug. Cheeky plug.
And we've got Goaty there currently in second seconds. Yes, we'll go with that. 1.8 in front of Young Wakey, who's okay. What's happening there? Foster's had a moment. Hang on a second.
I just saw that.
Foster's down to 5th position. So what has happened there? And Goaty's lost his rear gunner now, which that's going to release Young Wakey, who is absolutely going to be chomping at the bit to see if he can close that gap there.
I'm going to see if I can catch that on our Liquid Solutions action replay.
While that's happening, I'll quickly run through. So, Goaty, who's got the same amount of fuel as our leader GTR. Young Wakey, who's used quite a bit of fuel, so he's using that BP like it is going out of fashion. Niff currently in 4th, whose tyres are absolutely cooked. They are buggered.
After 5 laps. Wow.
5 laps. They are gone. I would not be surprised if he comes in this lap. No, he's going to stay out. Brave man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his good mate Foss right behind him, who's recovering after a mistake, who's now down in the 5th. And John has caught up beautifully now at 6th position.
Yep,
nice
made his way past Ricky Bobby.
Yep, and his tyres are looking pretty good as well. This has been a mega stint here from John. Bobby in 7th. Tyres, yep, they're gone. New set, please. Lenocious, they're gone as well. Geez, APR, they're using all the tyres. Lucky they got our carbon boy there. And they've got Dadson, who's actually looking pretty good on tyre. His front tyres are looking nice. This is a bit of a long stint here from Dadson, so maybe pulled a bit of a smart card. Hasn't gone hard early, but just bringing the tyre back to him now. CP, yep, they're cooked. We'll need a brand new set there, Chase, so if you could get on that, thank you.
Yeah, Dadson's got a nice little gap back to CP now too.
Yes. Karen's got beautiful front tyre life. He's done a magnificent job here. Maybe all that iRacing has paid off. And he's got bang on half a tank.
Yeah, let's not jump to conclusions here.
Yeah, that's true. Old Wakey has used all the tyre. Stickers has got a little bit better tyre life there in Old Wakey, so we'll keep an eye on that battle. I think that's about to spice up. And then Evil Evo, who's right there as well, has got not bad tyre life. Actually, between CP and Evil Evo, this battle of cars is actually really good on track. So this will be a very important battle as well. All positions mean something in Sector 1.
And just having a look back in the mid-pack, Dadson is right on the back of Lenosis and Ricky Bobby, the two APR guys running nose to stern. So he's managed to make up a fair bit of ground and get himself back into the slipstream of Lenosis. He's having a great run in this first stint, but we're on to lap 7 now, and I tell you what, those skies are not looking friendly, just between you and me.
Not. I just saw a little... Was that a coming together between the teammates? Ricky Bobby and Lenosis, they were very close to each other. And John now is up to 5th position. What a stint this is.
Wow. Yep. That's if this continues to play out in this way, the post-race chat could be quite spicy, because there is a fair bit of competitiveness between himself and Niff. So he's chasing down his other good mate, Foss. I reckon he would love to get one up on him.
This is just... Sometimes we use that word hero stint too often in motorsport, but this is the definition of a hero stint. And of course, Sector 1's got a long history of hero stints. I do remember Berries at Brands Hatch way back in the day, and this is another one of that caliber.
I mean, we do like to give John a fair bit of cheek, but hey, credit where credit's due. Yeah, this is an absolutely marvellous first stint. Hopefully he can keep it up for the remainder of the race, because we're only 7 laps in, and the wipers are going. The wipers are on.
So we've hit lap 7, which is bang on the pit window as well. I expect these drivers will be in this lap. Hang on, what's happened there? GTR's lost the lead. So we missed that as well. Goaty is in the lead. GTR comes in, so GTR's obviously had a moment. Goaty's capitalised. Now Goaty's gone around again. GTR is in. So is Young Wakey. So is John. So is Dadson.
I've just managed to catch it on the Liquid Solutions action replay. GTR ran a fair bit wide at 130R. Managed to gather it up, but has lost the lead as a result of that.
Now, what's going to be interesting here is how hard this rain will come down with this lap. Can Goaty and Foss keep it on the track and still gain time? This is going to be very interesting to watch.
Lap 8, worn racing softs on an increasingly wet track. It's a brave call. It's a brave call indeed, but well, that rain is really starting to come down. You can hear it now.
I'm gonna actually jump on board here with Goaty, just seeing what he's dealing with. Oh, watch the curves. You don't want to jump the curves at all with the rain.
Racing soft tyres and wet curbs, that equals death.
The curbs are lava. Tips in. Oh, he's very tentative through Spoon. Very tentative.
You can almost hear him screaming at the car to just turn in, damn it.
Foss has definitely got a little bit more confidence in these conditions. And 26 seconds is the gap back to GTR. Has that moment cost GTR a potential victory? It is still early. We're only on lap 8.
He's certainly shown he has the pace to make up ground on him, as Goat and Foss both come into the pits. Foss with a bit more on the fuel usage side than Goaty, so he may drop back a little bit further from his teammate.
And it is absolutely throwing it down now.
GDR's coming through Casio now. Goat still putting fuel in the tank. He's going for a full tank. He wants as much weight on that car as he can. GDR crosses a line. Goaty's out of the pits. Oh, he's...
done it easy.
No, Goaty's
No,
still in the lead.
Goaty is still in the lead, so... Oh, Goaty just makes a slight error there. GTR now! Outside set. Very much over.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Goaty's off! Goaty's off! Oh, young Wakey around the outside, so Goaty's had a...
Let's have a look at that on our action replay and just see where it all went wrong for young Goaty. As he's down to 5th now.
Something has happened. Goaty's going very slowly out on track. This could be championship changing stuff. You don't want to put the Moz... You never want to see this happen, but he is going extremely slowly.
Could he have accidentally put another set of racing softs on instead of wet tyres?
He has! He has! Something's happened in the pit lane! He hasn't put tyres on! He hasn't put tyres on!
Oh no, that has gone absolutely pear-shaped for him.
So he's not just got racing softs on, he has got absolutely cooked racing softs.
Oh no, he has not done tyres at all. Oh my.
No tyres at all.
That is disaster.
He is losing positions and time all the time.
We've got an absolutely cracking battle up the front here with John and Foss going at it hammer and tong for P3, P4.
John's up to 3rd. How has he done that? What a drive.
Yeah, definitely the makings of a hero drive here from John tonight.
Oh, John! That is not the line, sir.
That is affectionately known as the Max Verstappen line, but unlike Max Verstappen, John cops a penalty from that.
Oh!
He's got half
John,
a second.
Oh! It is like ice out there.
There will be some choice words coming from the Lightning
Look at
Motorsport
it.
car.
Oh, I've got to say, it's absolutely pissing down.
it's 9:02 p.m. It's fine. It is incredibly moist out there.
Good Doc knows what it's time for. It is time for it. The race has gone off. GTR though, 1.4 seconds to the good. Young Wakey's up to 2nd now as he slides it through the S's. The car control from these drivers is amazing, and he is absolutely chopping time out of GTR here. Young Wakey is a bit of a demon in the wet, we're finding out very quickly. Now I'm back on Niff watch, because Niff is super quick in the wet as well.
As a bit of info, are GTR and Wakey on the same tyres?
Yes, intermediates.
Okay,
Yep,
so
they're both intermediates.
all things are equal.
Yep, GTR's just struggling. Young Wakey's going to go for the position now. They're going to go sideways into the hairpin, side by side. Oh, that's as close as you like. Young Wakey tries to go around the outside. There's no grip out there. GTR holds on to it though, just. Heading up now towards Spoon through Children. Traction control light is absolutely going off its head. You can just see GTR just struggling to get some rear grip here. Oh, GTR backs it in motocross style. Oh, and again, he's gone around. He's gone. Oh, he just holds on to it, but Young Wakey takes the lead now. And John's in 2nd. You gotta be kidding me.
I wonder if there was a little bit of a tap there going into Spoon. We shall take a look at that of our action replay and just have another look at that. Oh, I think GDR might have just lost the rear end of that all on his lonesome.
Wow. What a race this is. We said there'd be drama, but this Group A race has absolutely gone off its head.
John in P2. Who would have thought? But he does have his good mate Foss in P3, 7/10 behind, and what I'm guessing is now a very angry GTR in tow as well. So that's not a position that John is in that I would envy whatsoever.
Definitely not. Sorry there, ladies and gentlemen, to have a quick drink. Oh, so much action to call. Unbelievable race so far. Round 7, Div 1, Sector 1 Sim Racing. This is the M3 Challenge. It's been a rip here from Suzuka. So young Wakey now leading the way, 1.5 seconds. Good. Really smart, mature, dare I say it, mature drive so far. But John is on an absolute charge.
Oh, hello, GTR's had another moment.
Oh, yes.
Let's have a look at that on our action replay. I did have the camera on him, but I was trying to get my buttons correct, so let's catch that on our action replay.
He's gone again.
Oh, he's just lost it coming out of what looks to be the S's onto Dunlop. Has done a brilliant job of spinning the car back around.
So, and he's lost it again while you were checking that replay. He's down to 8th position now.
Ooh, that's brutal. He's now got stickers right behind him. Dadson up into P7. I don't think young Wakey's going to have it all his own way. He's got a very racy looking John within 7/10. I think John is on for an absolute hero drive tonight.
This is interesting. Jumping on board with John now, and he is absolutely flying because young Wakey slides it through 130R. How he held on to that, I've got no idea, but he's just got confidence in these conditions. Can just play. Now it has stopped raining by the looks of it. No, it hasn't. Sort of has. I'm not sure.
It's eased off.
Oh,
We'll go with eased off.
wow.
As John nearly runs off the track on the exit of the Casio Triangle there. Gives Wakey a little bit of breathing space.
John chasing water.
Foss chasing John. Niff is a little bit further back down the track. He's in a little bit of no man's land in P4. He's got 7 seconds up to Foss, and let's just call it 7 seconds back to old Wakey in P5, who's doing an absolutely brilliant job tonight.
This is one of those classic drives.
Ricky Bobby's dropped off somewhere, I think, because Lenosis is in P6, chasing old Wakey. Couple of seconds back to Dad's. Oh, that rain is coming down in torrential form right now. Oh, I can barely see the cars coming through the S's. Lenosis getting
throwing it down.
Through that first sector, the rain is just absolutely belting down, and then they get into the second and third sectors, and it just eases off a bit.
So it's very Nürburgring-esque, isn't it?
Ooh, yeah. Pouring with rain on the straight, and on the back half is clear blue skies. Not quite that extreme as Lenosis is having a look at the hairpin on old Wakey. Down the inside. Can he get the power down?
Oh, no, he doesn't. He hits a puddle at the wrong time. And old Wakey just beautifully smooth on the throttle. And Lenosis driving without traction control as well.
That's commendable.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He had... Wow.
Yeah, I clenched a little bit there, and I'm not driving, but down the inside of Spoon.
Oh, no! Oh, there's been a touch!
Oh, nothing untoward there. I think it was just a convergence of racing lines, but Lenosis has backed off and let him have it, but I don't think we're going to see the end of this.
So GTR's just dropped down to 12th now. It's just gone wrong.
Oh, down the inside of 130R, Lenosis, are you...
No way.
No, he's not that crazy.
Whoa!
He is very, very skatey, though.
No, round the outside of triangle. That's too bold.
Oh,
He's
my.
done it. Oh, no! No! You can't do that!
He just did that, and I am going to take a look at that on our Liquid Solutions action replay because that was absolutely brilliant. Backs out of it.
driving there from Old Wakey as well.
Skatey as you like coming out of 130R, but a massive send under brakes into Casio. Very Peter Solberg-like under brakes there, if you don't mind.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Incredible bit of driving.
Okay. Right,
Wow.
where were we? Datsun,
Catch your
P7?
breath.
Just if you don't mind.
Nice job.
Evil Evo up to P8, yes, well done, son. Had a bit of a slow start to this race, but he's finding his feet in the wet conditions, it seems.
Just back up
CPJ,
with the
sorry,
lever.
in tow.
So, you're right.
Ricky Bobby's back in P10. He's got a very, very angry GDR behind him now. But yes, back up the front of young Wakey. And John is still almost a bumper sticker on the back of that Kraken Esports car.
I'm just keeping a close eye on a few things. So, in terms of fuel and tyre life, Boss is looking extremely good here. That extra lap has really paid dividends.
I am
Tell you
interested
what,
to see
yeah.
who pits when the rain starts easing up and the dry line starts appearing, because I think that'll be a make or break situation in this race.
I feel like, oh, gee, there's a huge puddle there right on the inside of 130R. You can just see there, John is chasing water again. Parched as a bloke is on a Friday afternoon after a 10-hour day. Oh, look at Nev. Nev's chasing. He's, so look at Foss there. What a canny operator.
Chasing water like a FIFO worker chasing a beer.
Yep, exactly. I'm glad you said beer and not something else.
It's after 9 o'clock, but there's still
We
standards.
know where we're going. There's still standards. Albeit very loose ones, but there's still standards.
John has just dropped off young Wakey a little bit here, and that's put him right into the clutches of Foss, who is less than half a second behind him. This is going to get very spicy, I feel.
Yeah, John's tyres just going off there a little bit, the fronts especially. So he's just losing a little bit of grip there, and as I was saying, Foss's tyres are absolutely beautiful. Oh, Foss, huge Roman! Oh, he just broke there a little bit on the ripple strip, and the car did not want to pull up.
He's managed to hold on to it though. He's lost a little bit of ground to John, who is now back on the back of young Wakey.
I tell you what, you know
Your
who's
boy,
driving
Niff.
the Megas? I was about to say,
Your boy Niff. P4, he's not that far behind the top three. And he's doing very consistent, solid laps here. He's not setting the timesheets on fire, but he's not having moments which is losing him track position either. So he's keeping himself in a very good position for this second pit stop and going onto the drier track.
certainly driving a beautiful stint.
Lenosis P5, he's got a fair gap up to Niff, but he's also managed to build a couple of seconds lead to Old Wakey, who's got quite a few seconds himself back to Dadson, who is leading an absolute train of Dadson, Evil Evo, Ricky Bobby, and then just a little bit of a gap back to CPJ.
Oh, geez, Evil Evo there. So, what's going to be...
Oh, Ricky Bobby down the inside of Casio. No, backs out of it. Backs out of it. Good man. That's probably a bit ambitious, that move.
Now, what's going to be interesting is who can get it to that magic number. So, the magic number is, wait for it, it is lap 15. So, that'll buy you that 7 laps to bring it home. Or do you try and run it that extra lap longer so you can
Oh,
save
Evil
time for the back
Evo's
end?
just run a little bit wide at turn 1 and 2. That's let Ricky Bobby slide up the inside, up into P8. But yes, as you were saying, the magic number, lap 16, so you can
Yep.
pit at the end of that, because the window for the racing soft tyres is sort of 6 to 8 laps.
Oh! Young Wakey's gone!
Oh
Young
no!
Wakey's gone! What has happened there?
Oh, let's see
So
if we
that
can.
was a Degner too.
Let's see if we can catch that on our Liquid Solutions action replay. Let's have a little bit of look-see. He's in the lead here. Comes into the first Degner. Oh, I'm guessing ripple strip. Yep. That ripple strip on the outside between the Degners. That is absolutely deadly in the wet. Oh dear, that has cost him quite dearly, unfortunately.
It certainly has, and what it has done is allowed Foss to lead now, and this is danger signs for the rest of the field.
Oh, and Foss has managed to make his way past John in the meantime as well, too. Could that be the tyre wear coming into factor here?
Certainly is a big factor. He's got a fuel advantage as well. If I'm John, I am pitting this lap.
He comes through Casio now. Let's have a look-see and see what he does. Foss is in.
Oh wow, John goes around again.
Oh, maybe John
So
doesn't have the
Niff.
confidence. Maybe John doesn't have the confidence in the racing soft tyres to last as long as he needs them to.
That could be interesting.
Young Wakey goes around again. So does Lenosis. Everyone's chasing moisture down the front straight, trying to cool off those tyres. Old Wakey's around
Hang on.
again.
Boss has put into... No, that can't be right. There we go. Racing soft, I was going to say. No, he's too experienced for that.
Well, we've already seen one BSR guy make a tyre mistake tonight.
That's true.
Yeah. Speaking of which, where is Goatee on track right now?
The young fella is currently in 14 still.
Oh
A
dear.
minute 20 off the lead.
Oh. Alright, so we better...
Right now.
John, you just saw young Wakey go off the track, hitting those ripple strips between the Degners. I do not recommend doing that, mate. But we'll give him a little bit of TV time while he's in provisional P1. He'll enjoy that.
As you can see, a very dry line out on circuit. I feel like they may have gone a lap too long here.
We've got
While I understand
Niff
the
chasing
tyre
water
debate.
through 200R, and he's got young Wakey who's got that gap down to just over a second. So young Wakey's probably fairly fired up right now. He's definitely looking quick this time around.
I just feel, yeah. I think Foss has pulled a bit of master stroke here.
We've got John just come into Casio now. Keep an eye on him. I think it's fairly safe to say he'll pit, but it's John. You never know. No, he's into the pits.
He's in. What does
And
Nick do?
Niff pits.
Yep.
So does
wow,
Wacky.
Somehow. Don't
Old-
know how we got that turn.
Old Wakey, the son and father combo, currently 3rd and 4th on track. Wacky's into the pits. Now Foss. He's on the main straight.
Yeah, he's gonna do this easy.
John's still putting fuel in.
filling up. Wow. He has brained them. That outlap was magnificent. 7.8 seconds to the good. Boss has pulled a bit of a cyborg-esque drive here.
It's out to 12 seconds now.
Yep.
13.
brained
13
them.
seconds. Wow. Yeah, that going in that one lap earlier has proved to be an absolute
Oh.
clutch decision.
Yeah, I just got from one of my spotters. Thank you, good doc. That Lenosha's dropped it at Spoon.
Oh
and he's
dear.
down in 10th now.
Oh, that is
And
not going
Karen's
well.
in front of him. Karen
Oh.
is in front of Lenosha's.
Oh, that's
Oh,
that's.
I tell you what, Karen.
Oh, Karen
to
is
ninth position.
Karen is doing pretty darn well. Not gonna lie. Like, I'd love to tease him about being the meat in an APR sandwich right now, but No, that's a sensational effort from the, I'll call it by the proper name, Switchblade Sim Sports team owner.
Of course, expanding into the world of iRacing, Karen is with Switchblade. So looking to jump on other platforms. If you do race in iRacing land, jump on board, give him a yell out, he would love to tell you all about it.
And we've just had word from another pit lane spotter that John spun on the pit
Oh
exit.
no!
So that's where that 13-second gap has come to.
Yes.
Oh dear. Oh, hello. There's a very feisty battle here with your boy Niff, Young Wacky,
Yep.
and John. It's about to go a three-way.
Niff
Young Wacky being
right
very
on this.
defensive. Oh.
Gets a beautiful exit as well. He's in the toe. Young Wakey goes super defensive early. But Niff says, I don't think so. Young Wakey gives him a little touch. There's overlap now. Down into turn one. Oh, Niff goes, thank you very much. What a move.
Yes, indeed. That is a beautiful move. And let's have a look at that again on the action replay. They're side by side, coming down the main straight. Wacky wants to go defensive, but Niff has already got the nose there. Says, I've got the better brakes. Thank you very much. I will have that.
Niff now up to third position. So him and John have just drove some amazing stints. I'm a little concerned with Niff though. He's chasing water with racing softs.
Maybe
Yep.
he just wants to keep the temperature down. Because being on controller, he knows he's going to burn those front tyres a lot quicker than the guys around him. So maybe that's not such a bad move. Just keep the
Can he
temperatures
keep John
down,
on his sides?
get the life out of them, and hope that John in front of him burns up his tyres.
This is
Worth
definitely our
mentioning-
best battle
worth
on
mentioning-
track at the moment.
Datsun, P5. Evil Evo, P6. They were a little bit towards the back of the pack in the early stages of the race, sort of around the 9th and 11th, 12th mark, but both seem to have put in absolutely brilliant middle stints in the wet, and that has paid major dividends with them being nose to tail, P5, P6, with 5 laps to run.
It's a fantastic job from Datsun and Evil Evo, definitely. Now, Datsun's got the blinker on, so a bit of mind games early. So Datsun's right in the wet water. Evil Evo, oh, he breaks super deep into turn one, nearly just pulls that up.
Sorry, I do need to make a mention of that comment, the wet water, as opposed to the drive water. Sorry, I did have to call that out.
Yes.
This is looking very spicy between Datsun and Evil Evo. It's very much a one-car line through the S's, but if you can throw them off for the Dunlop, there's plenty of room up the inside to throw it, and that'll get you side by side before the Degners, and then it's a case of who's got the bigger brass ones when it comes to the braking zone. But Datsun's not looking like he wants to give this up easily. And just up in front of this little battle pack, the Niff
Oh,
and
here we
John
go.
show is heating up.
This is heading up.
Oh, there's a yellow flag! There's a yellow flag!
Yellow flag up ahead. What's happened?
I don't know. It looks like
Oh.
Foss is still going. There is another car in front of them, but I think it is I don't want to say it, but back marker. It is your boy GTR, who's
Yeah.
having a bit of a mare in the later stages of this race, unfortunately.
So our two really quick drivers, GTR and Goaty, have had a couple of shockers. Oh, John through the Casio triangle if you don't mind.
And I never thought I'd say this, but blue flags are being shown for GTR.
Here we go. Look at this. Neff, this is for second position. He's going to go straight up the inside. Same again. John's going to have a conversation about this big time. Is John going to hang around the outside? It's gone!
John's off! Can he hold on to it? Brings it back on track, but that was... I think he might have just found the wet line there as we take a look at that on our action replay. So Niff and John side by side into turn one. Plenty of room given. John's just found that outer ripple strip and then the AstroTurf. He's lucky not to spin there, to be perfectly honest. He's done well to keep that pointed in the right direction. But that has cost him the positions to Niff, who now has a very red-hot young wacky right behind him.
Certainly has, but what a drive this has been from Neff. He was a bit of my dark horse. I was sort of just keeping very quiet about it because I knew the result. But second position is a huge effort.
Just keeping an eye on the Dadson Evil Evo situation, they've very shortly going to have company in the form of Old Wakey, who's managed to make his way up to P7. Ricky Bobby's recovered himself back to P8. He's in a fair bit of no man's land between Old Wakey and his teammate Lenosis, who unfortunately had a bit of a mare at Spoon and has picked himself up, P9. He won't be particularly thrilled with that, but it could be a whole lot worse. He's back in front of Karen, which I think will be the most important part of that for him.
So, on board. Oh, with Old Wakey at the moment. Nice tyre life as well, compared to Datsun and Evil Evo. And I'll tell you what, Evil Evo is giving Datsun the big hurry up here.
A bit of Morse code.
Battle. I would say Morse code, more of a just, I am right behind you. I'm just going to give you a little tickle, just a tickle.
A bit of Craig Lowndes, bit of, hey, yeah. I'm here.
Datsun holding up to the pressure well as the sun now comes out. This track's going to dry up very quickly. Datsun just breaks it beautifully through that mid part of the corner. That's sort of my line as well. That's the classic. Oh, Eva.
Yeah, I saw him hit those curbs there, and yeah, that was a clench moment. It's cost him a little bit of time. It's dropped him off the back of Dadson, and he may come under fire from Old Wakey if he's not careful.
Alright, so back up to our second position battle. If still holding on from young Wakey. They are very much dropped John. So he can win this battle for the second position on the podium. Of course, next round coming up, we are heading off to... Because I don't know.
I beg your pardon?
I was going to say, I was trying to do a nice, you know, production style throw there, and you just weren't on the ball.
Yeah, that throw hit me square in the forehead. Sorry.
Where are we off to for the next round?
For the next round, we are headed to, I think it's Croatia, for Sardinia. Or actually, no, it could be Italy. Wow. You know, geography is not my strong suit, but we're heading to Sardinia B. In any case.
B. I believe Sardinia is in Italy.
Right.
On the Amalfi Coast.
I just show up at the airport with my passport, and my team owner does the rest. Just pushes me towards the plane, and off we go.
This battle currently for second is really raging on now. Niff just seems to be struggling a little bit in the S's.
Could tyre wear be a factor for Niff right now?
It's pretty even actually between young Wakey and Niff, so...
Okay.
will come down to just that, who wants it more. It certainly has been a very spicy race, and I'll tell you what, that gap has come down to 13 seconds now. Was out as much as 17, so Niff doing a fantastic job here.
Yeah, I think with a lap and a bit to go, Foss might have just put it into cruise control to just consolidate and not do anything silly.
Come on, where's the fun in that, Foss?
Well, you get a bit cute with the curb and you're facing the wrong direction. That's going to cost that 13 seconds very, very quickly. John in P4, he's quite possibly just looking to consolidate that result here. P5, Dadson with Evil Evo and Old Wakey still in a train.
Still going.
Yep. Dadson's doing a great job here to take the pressure. He's got Evil Evo weaving everywhere.
Yes. I was about to say, wow, that's a bold spot to have a look there from Evil Evo. That's given actually Old Wakey a bit of incentive here.
Oh, Dadson with the indicator still on. I think that might be a jammed electrical circuit on the car. As Old Wakey around the outside of the final turn on Evil Evo. He's got in front across the line.
What a move from Old Wakey. Who says he can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Oh, Evil Evo wants to have a conversation. No, doesn't want to have a conversation about that. Ricky Bobby, still in no man's. CPJ, similar situation. Oh no, CPJ's got Lenosis for company. Lenosis just inside the top 10. He might want to just advance that a position this lap.
As our leader now comes through the hairpin. This has been an absolute masterclass. Foss is going to take this championship to the final round. And we've just seen a bit of a chink in the armour there from our championship leader as well. And Foss has absolutely pounced on it. As he comes through Spoon now, I think he'll enjoy this victory.
I think so. It's definitely well deserved.
Becoming a bit of a popular guy in Sector 1. He hasn't been around long.
Yeah, he's probably got a bit tired of playing second fiddle to young Goaty, and so this is his moment. This is his win.
This has been just like his team owner's drive. Flawless from start to finish. And it is going to be Foss for BSR, who is going to take victory at Suzuka in round 7 of the M3 Challenge. Foss takes the win. Second position and driver of the day is going to be Niff in second position for Black Lion. What a drive! Stunning. Young Wakey there in third. I think he's pretty stoked with that. John with a mega drive up to fourth.
Dadson hanging on to P5. That's absolutely brilliant effort.
Out of fuel. Evil Evo's out of fuel. He's dropping positions.
Well,
Ricky Bobby grabs him.
Ricky Bobby gets it. Evil Evo gets across the line for P8. CPJ is under some heavy fire from Lenosis through the Casio, but he might just hang on to it.
He does. He runs it out right.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, Karen finishing behind Lenosis. Note, behind Lenosis. Stickers P12.
You know what Karen could say? I beat Mountain Goat and GTR on pace alone.
Don't give him that, for the love of all that is holy. Don't give the man ideas.
Hey, he's finishing up, so he's allowed a bit of me time. That's next round.
Yodi finishes it in P13 and GTR. Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Probably, I'd say definitely not the race that he would have wanted tonight.
Well, Goaty as well. I mean, who puts the wrong tyres on? Seriously.
Well, not just put the wrong tyres on, didn't put tyres on at all.
Change tyres. So Goaty's like, you know what? I only need one set. That's how good I am.
Have there been some budget restrictions over at BSR?
There could be, yes, true.
But let's have a run through those results tonight. So our race winner tonight for BSR is Foss. Second place for Blacklight, even though his name would indicate a team alliance of something different, is your boy Nif. P3, a young wacky with a absolutely brilliant drive, I think. John just missing out on a podium. P4, bit of a what could have been there, but I don't think he'll be too upset with that. P5 is an absolutely brilliant drive, I think. Dadson. P6, Old Wakey. P7, Ricky Bobby. P8, Evil Evo, I think, with a sensational effort in the mid part of that race to get himself up in there. Then we have CPJ 50, P9, Lenosis, P10, Karen, P11, Stickers, P12, P13, rather surprisingly, I think, is Mountain Goat, and P14 is a GTR, who finished a lap down but did manage to claim the fastest lap, so he got a 157.548. So he will pick up that consolation point, which I think will be useful to keep him in the standings in Division 1. Well, chat, throw in your nominations for Driver of the Day, because I'm going to need a minute or two to make up my mind. Ghost, what are your thoughts?
Driver of the day, it's a toss up between Nif and John, but I am going to give the nod to Nif to finish second. Also on a controller, but really smart stint in the rain. Really made up a ton of positions. Kept his tyre life, which then allowed him to get that second position. So Nif for me, driver of the day, but a special mention definitely does go to John and Dadson as well. Both those gentlemen can definitely hold their head up high.
Yeah, the chat's a bit of a mixed bag. We've got Warpig, Driver of the Day, Foss. Brocky's Driver of the Day is between Foss and Nif. Well, I'm going to discount your own driver, so I'm going to give your nomination to Nif. Excel's Driver of the Day, Dadson. Yeah, you vote for your team owner, but I can totally go with that. Mr. Bumcrack, it says Nif for Driver of the Day. Captain Muffin says Driver of the Day is Goaty's pit crew. But on a serious note, Driver of the Day, Dadson. Foss from Morgan Davey for Driver of the Day. Good Doctor's voting for his boy Nif as Driver of the Day. Debrev says Foss, a Driver of the Day. Look, I don't like giving my Driver of the Day nomination to the winner, so sorry, Foss, that counts you out. Nif put in an absolutely stunning drive tonight. But I'm going to veer a little bit offline, and I'm going to give my Driver of the Day nomination to Dadson, because I thought that was an absolutely brilliant drive from him tonight. He was under a serious amount of pressure for probably 6 or 7 laps at the end of that race and managed to hold his own, keep his position, and he'd also put in an absolutely brilliant drive in the first place to get himself into that position. So that gets him over the line. Sorry, Nif, but yeah, my nomination goes to Dadson.
Yeah, I couldn't. It's a very good nomination. So yeah, it was some really epic drives from a few of our drivers. So final round, Sardinia coming up. Of course, next week it'll be 3 and 4. I'll do their thing. Make sure you do stick around and watch Sector 1 Sim Racing. Make sure you give all our socials like. And of course, if you do want to join in on the action, jump on the Discord. Make sure you participate in the community series as well. It is the best way to get yourself recognised. And then we can hopefully one day get you on the grid and you can enjoy all the action that we enjoy here. But other than that, thank you, Boy. It's been a pleasure as always.
It's a lot more fun when you're here, Ghost. Well, it'd not be a lot of fun by myself. It would actually be painful for those listening at home, to be perfectly honest. So thank you very much for lending your vocal talents in the comms box tonight, and to Revs as well. It's always a pleasure having brilliant race directors on board to help out and keep things chugging along. For anyone who does want to jump into the Sector 1 Discord, you will find a link in the video description, as you will also find a link to our Facebook page and a link to the Dadson's Movember fundraiser page. If you could spare a few bucks and chip in for a good cause, that would be much appreciated. As always, smack the like button on the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and stay tuned for our broadcast next week of the final round of Sector 1 Season 9 live at Sardinia, where yours truly will be, well, just trying to keep it on the black stuff, to be perfectly honest. So
It's simple goals are the best goals.
yeah, I like to keep my goals simple. Keep it on the black stuff and point it in the right direction. Anything else from there is simply a bonus.
That's right, exactly.
Right, so that is enough waffling on from me. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight, and I look forward to the pleasure of your company next time around. Ghost, do you want to see us out?
Thank you, everyone. Well, I hope you enjoyed that racing this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to call all the action. But other than that, I will bid you adieu, and as always, you've been watching Sector 1.